My Lords, I am extremely happy to see so many noble Lords interested in this issue because, of course, it is a massive national health issue that we really have to do something about. And I agree completely that 20 is plenty. Actually, reducing the speed limit to 20 miles an hour would not only reduce emissions and improve the health of people living alongside those roads, but also, of course, would reduce the number of casualties, the road deaths and injuries that cost us a fortune nationally in terms of social services, NHS costs and policing costs. And so anything to do with lowering the speed limit actually has a lot of positive benefits. And the only negative benefit appears to be a few irate car drivers who think it's okay to drive at 80 or 90 miles an hour in towns and cities. Now, my amendments seek to create a comprehensive system of targets, monitoring and funding to reduce air pollution levels to World Health Organization guideline levels. And I know it's not done for us to be involved in money, in government finances, but it isn't possible to end this crisis without significant public spending. And the government's got to make the money available to local authorities to transform their communities and clean up their air. Now, I first became aware of the huge problem of air pollution in London when I was on the London Assembly, and I lived through Ken Livingstone's 8 years and Boris Johnson's 8 years in power, and Ken Livingstone did seem to get this, and the congestion charge obviously helped. In the time of Boris Johnson, we were in the build-up to the Olympics, and at that point, I think there were only 2 monitoring stations in London that the EU accepted information from, and they were actually overseeing and monitoring our air pollution. And one of them was on the Marylebone Road opposite Madame Tussauds, and it's still there, I think, and the intake pipe is some 12 feet above the road. Now, anybody who understands anything about air pollution, you know that it's mostly low, and that's why actually we should be very careful of children in prams. But this was 12 feet up, and our air was still polluted and higher than EU levels, and so that sort of gives you an indication of how dirty our air was then. My amendments are based on my Clean Air Act that I keep putting into the ballot to be debated here, and it's had a lot of legal input. I clearly think it's the best, but I am prepared to discuss this. I just ought to say as well that one of the measures that Boris Johnson put in place because of the air pollution on the way to the Olympic Park was quite a lot of potted plants along the roadside. They were very attractive. I'm not sure they did much for the pollution, but he'd been told they might, and so he put them in. It's obvious that local authorities also need tougher powers to clean up dirty sources of other dirty sources of pollution. So my Amendment 153 includes powers to prohibit the use of fireplaces, wood-burning appliances, diesel vehicles and other sources of pollutants in air pollution improvement zones. The government's recognised that something's got to be done on air pollution, and this is a very good bill to do it in. It's going to be very embarrassing if we get to COP26 and we still have this sort of pollution problem. In summary, air pollution is a health crisis, a national health crisis. It costs us billions every year, and it affects the old and the young. And several of us have mentioned Ella Kissy-Deborah, who died at 9 years old because of her asthma, because she lived next to a dirty, filthy road. And, of course, it's children who will have health problems all their lives because of living near polluted roads. And I would argue that this bill is an ideal opportunity to actually fix this problem. We know the solutions, and the solutions are here in these amendments. So I really hope the government reads it and accepts it.